exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Hey, four down. Bang! 380!
Throwing again is Tannehill. And escapes the sack. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So Tannehill out, and in his place is the backup quarterback, Matt Moore. Moore now. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. It's complete to Parker, left side. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw in that play. No gain.
Over the middle to Beckham. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and they just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And wow, fortunately he was able to get it back, but it's left his guys in a bit of a hole here. They're backed up deep to start this drive. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. And it's never a bad decision to slide as a quarterback. You're too valuable for reasons other than your legs to go out there and take those unnecessary hits.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Tannehill now to give to Ajayi. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
380.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And this is caught. It's Parker. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on now is the Miami punter, Matt Darr, to kick this one away. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. Beckham, the return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. At the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking, but you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning, and he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Ndamukong Suh in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. So now here come the Dolphins. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins.
Devontae Parker. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And 10. Here's Manning. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? big tight end curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup, and the Giants are going to get a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back. And
now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Here's Tannehill. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Tannehill on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Keenan Robinson. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with it.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Offense needs 11, have to think pass here on third down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Wrap up.
Still moving. Well, big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
You have to give some credit because he broke some tackles in order to get that big pickup. But maybe it's a little bit more than the lost art of tackling. Reared its ugly head on that play. And the end result, a big-time pickup of yardage.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4. We got 4.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Let's go, D.
Tannehill. Hard throw, incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So it'll be first down here after the run. Manning now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Caught left side. It's Beckham. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defense will give him.
Manning now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And a little floater there is incomplete.
You seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that?
It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. There, here we go. 3rd quarter action now. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they hear if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not?
We'll find out. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
A lot of teams love to throw screen passes. They want to tire out defenses because they make them run a lot. But there are a lot of moving parts on a play for an offense when they call that one. Because you got the linemen that have to move. You got the wide receivers have to get out and vacate. Get the running back that's got to make it.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And throw right side complete to Parker. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
Here's Ajayi. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's opposed. Will out of defense.